All right, time for your Chapter 9 review. This is Richard Davis, athletic trainer, Magnolia West High School, Chapter 9 review. So what we're going to do is you pull out your notes. You can follow right along. You've already had your review right there in class. So here we go. Let's see what this review is actually going to be checking out. All right, very first one. Let's go to slide 3. Slide 3 looks like this here. All right, this question is going to cover what is a physical injury or a wound sustained by an external or internal force? All right, that is trauma. Know the definition for trauma. All right, you got that down? Let's cruise on to the next one. With skin injuries, you need to know what a friction blister is. All right, you got that? Friction blister. So highlight these as you go along, and then you can go back and study what you need to know. All right, let's go over here to number 5. I think you need to know about a laceration in which the flesh has been irregularly torn, and it's known as a laceration. All right, cruise on down to number 6. Number 6. On number 6, you need. Oh no, it's not there. Where is it? Go back to number 4. 4. 4 is actually you need to know an abrasion. Know where your abrasion. Let's remember, so we scraped and it's on the rough surface. You like fell down on the track or the parking lot. All right, some places that you fall down on a really tough football field. All right, what is it when skin has been sharply cut? That is an incision. This is on slide 6. Slide 6 is a real popular one because here's another one where it is torn by that same mechanism as a laceration to the extent that tissue is completely ripped from its source, and that's where it's the completely ripped is avulsion, and it's a skin avulsion where it's completely ripped from its source. Make sure you knock that out. All right, let's go to number 7. Okay, it's a bruise received by sudden trauma from superficial to deep tissue damage, contusion. All right. Still on number 7, you know the definition of strains right there. Now, remember, strains has the letter T in it. T stands for tendon. So, know the difference between strain and sprain. T with strain is a tendinous injury, tendinous or muscular. Strains are caused by a traumatic twisting resulting in the ligament. No, we're talking about a sprain on that one. So I'm not sure where that is, but I got that a little out of place. Let me pull that one off. All right. Number 8, slide number 8. This accompanies fatigue and occurs immediately and during and immediately after exercise. Remember that is acute onset soreness. Acute onset soreness. All right. It can also be called acute muscle soreness. All right, that's on slide 8. Slide 9. On slide 9, muscle cramps can be related to hard conditioning. Yes, that is true. And of course, muscle stiffness produces pain. No, it doesn't. So you need to know those. Muscle stiffness, and you would need to know muscle cramp. All right. Occurs when a muscle group has been worked hard for a long period of time. All right. So muscle stiffness is going to be more than one question. It resists stretching. So muscle stiffness is pretty important. You're going to get at least 2 questions from that, if not another. Slide 10. Skeletal muscle injuries. You have muscle guarding. Remember, we talked about this. We had an athlete who dislocated his shoulder, and the muscle guarding would not allow it to go in. Following an injury, the muscle surrounding the injury contract to where they splint the injury or the injured area, and it's to minimize movement in that area. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not so good. It wasn't so good with a shoulder. Slide 11. Make sure you know slide 11. All right. Which one of these has a gradual onset? All right. We talked tendonitis. Remember, I used the example of a pitcher. That's why they get days rest. Okay. Let's cruise past 12. Let's cruise past 13. Let's go to 14. Atrophy and contracture. You need to know what both of those are. What is contracture? The abnormal shortening of a muscle tissue in which there is a great deal of resistance to passive stretch. You also need to know atrophy, which is the wasting away of muscle. We talked about that means the girth of the muscle gets shorter. All right. The next slide that you need to know is going to be number 15. 15 is talking about in the human body there are where two bones join together, and it must also transmit forces between the participating bones. That is called what? A joint. Very good. Super. So 15. No, nothing on 16, 17. Let's go to 18. Slide number 18. All right. Slide 18. It acts as a protective backup for the joints. The primary protection comes from the muscles and tendons. That is your ligaments. Ligaments are actually a backup protector. They're not the primary protectors of a joint. All right. This is secreted and absorbed by the synovial membrane and acts to lubricate the joint. All right. That is on slide 19, and it's synovial fluid. I know it just says fluid there, but it's synovial fluid. All right. You'll see that on the top. All right. Let's go from 19 to slide 22. Talks about articular cartilage. Do you need to know that does the articular cartilage determine what motion can or will occur? Yes, that is what happens with articular cartilage. All right. Articular cartilage on slide 23 also tells you that depending upon the shape of the cartilage, the stability of the joint will vary. The more movement you have, the less stability you will have. And that's the same as the opposite. If you want stability, you're going to have to pay the stability toll with movement. All right, slide number 26. Let's go here. 26 is telling we're asking is an injury to a ligament and our articular cartilage and synovial membrane. That is going to be a sprain. A sprain. They occur in 3 different grades of severity. We'll get to that here in just a bit. Then on slide number 29, all right, where do the highest incidence of dislocations occur? Do they occur at the shoulder? No, they actually occur at the fingers. All right. So after 29, we'll go on down to number 30. 30. All right. Partial dislocations. What are partial dislocations in which there are or there is an incomplete separation between the 2 bones? That's a subluxation. Remember I told you it's a self-reducing partial dislocation of the joint. Self-reducing partial dislocation of the joint. All right, number 30, that's slide 30. Slide 34, because we'll get past that beautiful picture. Slide 34, types of bones. All right, long bones are most commonly injured in sport, and these include what? So right here, you need to know the types of bones and certainly need to know the long bones. Slide 36. All right. If you have inflammation to the periosteum, remember, ITIS, that means something swollen, and that tells you the part that's swollen, so that's periostitis. Okay. Know what you're looking at. Let's see here, 30, let's go to 41. Oh, that's a cool picture there. All right. What fracture or what occurs to the wall of the eye or of it as a result of a blow to the eye? There's a big hint in there, but it's a blow to the eye. The blowout fracture. All right, slide number 43. Okay. What is helpful in detecting stress fractures? Is it an X-ray? Sort of, but no, not really. Bone scan. Stress fractures, we're talking about stress fractures. How do we find them? The bone scan is what's helpful. All right. Still on 43, which is your last slide. Most stress fractures are most likely caused by subthreshold level of rhythmic muscle action performed over a period of time. It could take several weeks to show up on an X-ray. Okay. All right. Let's go now to the big questions. The big questions will include slide 21. Slide 21 looks like this. Articular cartilage. You will need to know what type of cartilage and what are the examples. So if it says the external ear and eustachian tube, then you need to write down it's the elastic cartilage. Okay? All right. No, all of slide 21. All right. That's going to be worth at least 3 questions, if not 6. 27 and 20. Let's go to, well, 25. Let's go to 25. All right. 25. Let's go here on that one there. 25. Types of synovial joint. You're going to have you a list that says each one of these. I want you to write down an example of what it is. Okay? So there's 6 questions that you can knock out really quick, but just by knowing the types of synovial joints. All right. 27. Sprains. All right, let's go up one. The actual, now this one I had to pull off my question, but 27 or 26 will also need to be known. Not in a listing question, but this is going to be, sprains are caused by a traumatic twist resulting in stretching or total tearing of the ligament. Remember, ligaments are sprains. Strains are muscular and tendinous. All right, so 27 and 28. You will have grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, and you must match the correct symptoms with the correct grade level of sprain. I think you will do well on that part. All right, 33. Bone functions. You need to list, pulled from your own mind, bone functions. Okay? Body support, organ protection, movement, calcium reservation, and formation of red blood cells. That is not going to be matching. That is you supplying the answer. All right, our last question is going to be really fun because it starts right here on 37 and goes to the end of your slide package, 37 to 43, and you will have to match each of these fractures with each of their own definition. Okay? So that's going to be 12 questions. That's a lot of information that you need to pay attention to right there on that side. All right, let's get rid of that. So as you can see, you've got quite a bit to study. That's why I'm taking the time and putting this up today on Thursday, and your test will be next week, at least for this class for this year. All right. Study hard, do well. If you have questions, get a hold of me or Mrs. Bates or Miss Bates, and we will certainly help you out. I'm sure that you'll do well if you put the time and the effort in.